created it by hand. From mighty mountains to the raging sea, to every leaf on every single tree. It's in the holy book. Just open up and take a look. It's a story for young and old, the greatest story ever told. So lend an ear and you will hear the greatest story. The greatest story.
The 12 tribes of Israel were led out of Egypt by Moses. God had promised them a home of their own, a land called Canaan. But once they got there, many Israelites were afraid of the armies of Canaan. They didn't trust God to help them win their battles. They wanted to go back to Egypt where they had been slaves. God decided that since they didn't trust Him, they couldn't enter the Promised Land, and He had them wander the deserts for 40 years. After 40 years, God led the children of the 12 tribes back to the Promised Land. But instead of it being a time of joy, the Israelites were full of sadness. Their leader Moses had died, so they didn't have anyone to lead them to their new home.
Boys, behave yourselves.
Today we are remembering Moses.
Joshua, who helped Moses for those 40 years, was remembering the great leader in his own special way.
Come to cheer me up, Turnip? What will happen to our people now that Moses is gone? Who will guide us to the Promised Land?
Why not you, Joshua?
Turnip, you talked.
It's me, Joshua.
God?
I've chosen you, Joshua, to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land.
No, I can't.
You helped Moses.
But he was a great leader. I'm just an ordinary man, a simple servant.
Don't be afraid. There is greatness in every man who has faith, Joshua.
God, where is the land you promised us?
Look west. What do you see?
The desert floor and the Jordan River. Beyond that, foothills and green.
The Promised Land. Take your people, Joshua.
But I can't lead them. I'm frightened.
Yes, you will face many dangers, but be strong. Remember, I will never leave you.
Because Joshua loved God and obeyed His rules, God protected him. God's rules, known as the 10 Commandments, were written on stone tablets inside the Holy Ark.
The river's very swift. Crossing won't be easy.
Oh, this is foolish.
Following Joshua as if he were Moses.
Are you coming, Aram?
Come, let's see what will happen. How about there, Joshua? I'll see how deep it is. Do you think you can cross it, little one? Oh, come on, it's just a little water. No!
Who are you? Go away!
I am Joshua, leader of the Israelites. God has promised us this land.
Did he? Well, I'm the king of Jericho, and you can't enter. We are protected by this swift river and the strongest wall in the world. If you can cross this river, you better be prepared for a fight.
Our God protects us, as he protected Moses, our leader.
Yes, I've heard that your God parted the Red Sea, but he has no power here. Stay away from Jericho, or my army will destroy you.
What'll we do, Joshua?
Have faith and cross the river when God tells us to.
You heard Joshua. Let's tell the others.
I'm worried about this king of Jericho. He's like the waters of this river, dangerous.
Joshua,
Yes, God?
don't be afraid of the king. If you trust me, I will protect you.
Joshua did trust in God. He selected 2 men to sneak into Jericho and tell him about the king's army.
One, 2, 3 soldiers. That third one is tiny. I'll only count him as half a soldier.
Aram! We're spies. That means we have to be quiet.
Oh, quiet. Right.
Spy!
Oh, King, I'm only a harmless traveling merchant.
Liar! You're a stranger in Jericho, so I say you're a spy.
Hey! But he can't do that!
More spies! Israelite spies!
That's being quiet.
Catch them!
Stop the spies!
Catch the Israelites!
They must be here somewhere. You men, try up that street.
God help us.
What do we do?
Psst. This way. Hurry. My name's Rahab. I want to help. This way. Under here. Quickly.
Open your doors by order of the king. Out of my way. The Israelite spies. Did you see them?
They were here, but they ran toward the city gates. If you hurry, you might still catch them. The king will be very unhappy if you let them get away.
Rahab told the Israelites it was safe to come out of their hiding place.
That was a very brave thing you did.
Why did you risk your life for us? Two strangers.
Everyone in Jericho knows the Israelites are coming to our land. We've heard that your God rules the heavens above and the earth below. He's so powerful. He parted the Red Sea for Moses. Now our men are afraid to fight you. Go, hide in the hills for 3 days. Then you'll be safe.
God bless you, Rahab. You're very kind.
Wait. I showed kindness to you. When your people attack the city, please spare my family and me.
We promise, Rahab.
Leave this red rope hanging from your window. It will be a sign that no one in this house is to be harmed.
Joshua's spies did as Rahab had said. After hiding in the mountains for 3 days, they ran back to camp with their report.
That's what Rahab told us, Joshua. Everyone in Jericho is afraid of us. We can defeat this king of Jericho.
I'm not so sure, Aram. He had a lot of soldiers.
They were all small.
Let's pray to God and thank Him. He has done as He said. The Promised Land is ours.
The next day, the 12 tribes marched towards Canaan. But as God had told Joshua, entering their new homeland wasn't going to be easy.
How can we cross this river safely? Please, God, give me an answer.
The water's too fast. It's too fast. I'm not going this. No. No.
How will we get our children and animals across?
Don't be afraid. God has shown me a way. Bring out the Ark of the Covenant.
Joshua directed the priests to carry the ark into the river and hold it there. The Israelites were confused. What did Joshua have in mind?
This can't be safe. Joshua doesn't know what he's doing.
Behold, the power of God.
As the crowd watched, a miracle happened. The priests held up the ark, and God held back the waters.
It's just like when Moses parted the Red Sea.
It's true then. God must be with Joshua, as he was with Moses.
The Israelites' faith in Joshua grew and grew, for now they knew he followed in the footsteps of Moses.
Joshua, choose 12 men, one from each tribe. Tell them to get 12 rocks from the middle of the river, from where the priests stood. Carry the rocks and put them down where you stay tonight.
In the future, your children will ask, what do these rocks mean? And you will say, the water stopped flowing when the Ark of the Covenant with God crossed the river. These rocks will always remind the Israelites of this.
One evening, Joshua was walking near Jericho.
I've followed God's commands without question. I've tried to be a good leader, but I'm not a soldier. How can I fight the king of Jericho and his army?
Joshua,
God, how shall the enemy be defeated?
you won't need swords or armor, Joshua. Just have faith in me. To defeat the king and army of Jericho, here's what you must do.
Early the next day, Joshua formed the Israelites into a long line.
Remember, do as God instructed. Not a word, not a sound from any of you.
First came 7 priests playing ram's horns. Then the Ark of the Covenant. Then the armed men. They marched one time around the great city.
This is not fighting. This is a parade. Well, I guess we've won.
When do we attack the city, Joshua?
We don't. Tomorrow we march around it again. And just like today, everyone must be quiet. No shouts of war. The only sounds can come from the ram's horns.
So the Israelites marched once around Jericho. Every day for 6 days. And for 6 days, nothing happened.
You Israelites are fools! And the biggest fool is your leader, Joshua!
On the morning of the 7th day, Joshua's people were restless.
Joshua, you do not know what you are doing.
Our people are tired of marching in circles.
We need a soldier for a leader.
Yes! Let's fight!
You're right. I'm not a soldier. But I do have faith in God. He didn't let Moses down, and he won't let us down, so long as we trust in him. This is the 7th and last day. Who will come with me?
I will.
All of us!
Tell everyone we will march!
And march they did. But instead of going around the city just once, as they had done for 6 full days, Joshua said that God wanted them to march 7 times. And on the 7th time around, they did something completely different.
Shout, yell, scream, so that the heavens can hear you. Shout, for God has given us Jericho.
For 40 years we wandered through the desert sand, hoping we could find God's promised land. And now it's here before us, behind a fortress tall. But it will not be ours until we bring down the walls. Bring down the walls of God that He is with us here. His power is much greater than that army over there. Our enemies are laughing, but their kingdom soon will fall. When we raise our voices, we will bring down the walls. Bring down the walls of Jericho. Bring down the walls, lift your horns and blow. The sound we make is gonna shake the city to the ground. We'll see the promised land when the walls come down. So shout out loud, shout out strong. That wall around the city won't keep us out for long. Sing to God, one and all. That land that we were promised is right behind those walls. Bring down the walls of Jericho. Shout it down. Bring down the walls. Lift your horns and blow. The sound we make is gonna shake the city to the ground. We'll see the promised land when the walls come down. We'll see the promised land when the walls come down.
With their voices, a few ram's horns, and their faith in God, the Israelites captured Jericho.
Joshua! These are the people who helped us. Rahab, her mother and father.
You're a brave woman, Rahab. God has watched over you and your family because of your faith and for helping my people.
Can we stay and join you, Joshua?
Nothing would make me happier.
Don't touch me, Israelite! How dare you treat me this way? Why, I'm the king!
You were the king. When I said God promised us this land, you laughed and called me a fool. Who's the fool now?
You can't, no!
Has anyone seen Turnip? For you. Perfect. My friends, our days of wandering are over. We're home.
After Jericho was captured, the Israelites kept moving and claimed more and more new land. Their wandering days were over, all because Joshua and the Israelites had faith in God.